So we're going to do a little rolling and stretching today. You're going to need a roller. This is a soft one, so it has quite a lot of give to it. And a strap, like a yoga strap or a belt or whatever you've got that you could, some kind of length that you can stretch with. And then at the end, we're going to rest the legs up on like a chair or something like that. So we're going to start with the head and neck. Having the roller underneath the head, so just behind your ears on the skull, there's kind of the sort of bony prominences sticking out. So you're going to have the roller in line with those, so it's not actually on the neck. And I would have your hands on the end of it, so it's just not going to shift. So nose pointing straight in the air, and then you're going to turn your head towards 1 o'clock, so not too far, just behind the ear, and then back to 11 o'clock. Just very gently, just a few times, nice and slow. And then stop at 1 o'clock and draw 3 circles. So imagine you're drawing them with your nose. And then circle back the other way. And then just let your head relax and feel it sinking into the roller here. And then come back over to 11 o'clock and do the same here. 3 circles with the nose. And then 3 back the other way. And then just feel the weight of the head relax there into the roller. And then come to your center point, and you're going to take your nose down, around to the right, in center, back to 12 o'clock, and then down and around to the left, back to 12 o'clock. So like an infinity sign or a sideways 8. And just keep doing that, gradually making it smaller and smaller and smaller, until you end up back in the middle, and then just feel the weight of your head sinking into the roller. A couple of breaths there. All right, then we're going to move down to the shoulders and the upper back. So sliding the roller down, you're going to have it on the bottom of your shoulder blades. And to start with, reach your arms forward and just kind of move one arm forward and the other arm back, kind of like a slow motion shimmy. And then take the hands behind your head, and you're going to go sideways. So think of like scratching your back against a tree or something. And then center yourself and just stretch back over the roller, open up the chest, and curl in. So just feel that little pressure on the upper back there. And now twist to your right. Lift your hips off the floor, so really press your feet into the ground. Just get a little lift, and you're going to roll back and forth on that shoulder blade. So from the armpit to the bottom of the shoulder blade. And then let that rest. And then onto the other side. So just rolling on the shoulder blade. And then center. Just make sure my feet are straight there. Now keep lifting the hips and rolling towards the top of the shoulder blade, and then roll to the bottom of the shoulder blade, curling it. So lift it up and in. So you're just staying with the rib cage, you're not going onto your lower back. And then set your hips down. And then we're going to move the roller further down. So I'm just going to slide over it here. So you want it so it's at the top of your pelvis. So it's not actually on your lower back, it's right at the top of your sacrum. So those 2 little dimples we've talked about in other workouts, right there at the base of the spine, either side. So allow your knees to be relaxed in towards your chest, and the arms resting on the roller so it doesn't shift. And then again going to 1 o'clock with the knees, and then back to 11 o'clock. So you're just rolling from that one dimple to the other. Sorry, I need this under me a little more. You want to make sure you're not going to feel like it's going to run out from under you. And then stay on the 1 o'clock side and gently do circle with the knees, with the legs together. So you're just kind of rolling over that little spot on your back, and then the other way. And hold that there, and just take a breath and just feel that side just sinking into the softness of the roller. And then back over to the opposite side now. And same thing, circling just 3 times with the knees. And then the other way. And then hold it there. Just take a deep breath. And then bring it back to the middle. And now put the hands on the knees and feel like you're pushing your legs away, and at the same time the legs are pushing into your hands. You've got a little opposition. And then do a pelvic tilt there. So it's not very obvious on me, I'm kind of tight. And then go back to a neutral. So you curl and lengthen. Curl and lengthen. Do one more and stay in the curl. Put your left foot on the ground. Staying in that curl. Right, so imagine your lower back is trying to touch the mat here. Keeping it like that, flex your foot, and then lower your leg down as far as it will go without changing your curve. So you're getting a little hip flexor stretch, and then go back up. Pull the heel to the floor, and then up, and again, pull it to the floor, and up. And then place that one on the ground, still in that curve, leg up, flex the foot, and pull the hip bones towards the rib cage, and up. And lengthen, so the thigh bone and the hip bone are moving apart. And a couple more. And again. So you get a nice active stretch. Bring that foot down, and then you can just slide the roller out from under so your bum is back on the floor. And then just drape your legs over the roller. So right at the very top of your thighs. So you don't want your hips to be off the ground. Very relaxed here. And then you can do like a snow angel. Let your feet just kind of drag along the ground. You're just smushing the backs of your legs. Almost like you're drawing that infinity sign with your legs. And then move down about 1/3 of the way. So you're like mid-thigh. And again, smushing everything out. And then coming back to just above the knee. And relax there. Now, moving down onto your calf muscle now. So below the knee, at the top of the sort of round part of the calf. Cross the other leg over so you've got a little weight on it. And just bend and straighten the knee. And you can change the direction your knee is facing as you do this so that you kind of go across the whole muscle. And then move it down to the bottom of the calf. Same idea. So just change the direction your knee is pointing so you can get into that. And then once more down on the lower part, so not the ball part of the calf, closer to the ankle, same again. And then stay on the outside, so your knee is pointing open, and just draw little circles with your ankle. Let's just do 3 each direction. Ooh, cracky. And let that rest. All right, so roll it back up to the top of the left calf now. Right leg across, and just bend and straighten. This is gentle pressure, you're not really digging, right? It's because this roll is nice and soft. And then move down to the lower part of that, so just sort of where the ball part ends. And across that. And then down further toward the ankle, and same. And then now your knee is pointing to the left, you're going to just draw circles of the ankle 3 each way. And then the other way. And rest. And now we'll do a gentle stretch for the hamstrings and calves. So take your strap or your belt or whatever you've got and put it around your foot, so you can just raise it to a natural stretch, so nothing forced. It doesn't matter where you feel the stretch, but once you get to it, don't go any further. We'll just do a lower and lift a couple more times. And there. And now point and flex your foot. And then let's do those ankle circles again, 3 each way. So you're getting into the sides of the lower leg as well. And then bring that in and switch it to the other foot. So start low and just gently pull the leg up to a natural stretch. Remember, you haven't really done a lot of warming up probably before you do this, you don't want to force any stretch, just natural range of motion. And then gently point and flex, moving at the ankle, not the toes, right? So you really want to feel your heel moving in the space, and then the circles. And then the other way. And rest that. Okay. So now let's come onto your side to do the inner thighs. So you want to start with the back edge of your mat. And then have the knee on your roller. So just, well, not the knee, just above the knee on the sort of low part of your inner thigh. And have your other hand on the roller just so it doesn't run away from you. And you're going to straighten and bend this leg. Let's do 3 times. And then lift the foot to the ceiling and the ground. Now, moving from your pelvis, roll it forward so the roll is now halfway up your thigh. And again, forward and back. And then up and down. And then move from the pelvis once more. So you're high up on your inner thigh now. Same again. And up and down. Now from there, roll the pelvis back and forward. And back. So the movement's coming from your hips and your low back. And then all the way back. All right, let's do the other side. So flip that over. So in the back of your mat, keep your hand on the roller, knee there, and then forward and back with the leg. And then up and down with the foot. And then roll halfway up the thigh, and again, forward and back. Up and down. One more, forward with the hips. Leg forward and back. And then up and down. And then long leg and just roll the hips back. And then forward. Back. And forward. Back. And forward. And just set the roller aside for a moment. Come onto your back with your strap. And we'll just do a little stretch for the inner thigh. So strap around your foot. Find the point where you get that small hamstring stretch, nothing too intense. And then like you're drawing like a half a rainbow, you're going to open your leg out to the point that it feels a happy stretch, not intense, and come back in. So you're just going through your natural range of motion, trying to keep the opposite hip steady. One more. And then over to the other foot. So other half of the rainbow out and back. And again, stretching doesn't want to be painful, right? One more. All right, so now let's move into the front of your thighs. So take your roller across your mat this way. And you're going to start with, the roller is going to be just above your kneecaps. And let's have one leg supporting the other. So we'll put the ball of your left foot on the ground so it can take some of the weight. And then the right knee is going to bend and straighten. Let's just do 3. Then it's going to come towards the opposite side and away. So let's do that same spot on the other leg now. So right foot down, left leg bend and straighten. And then towards the right and back to the left. And then just rest your knees a moment to take your weight off of your arms. And then you're going to move your roller so it's further up now, sort of mid-thigh. Let's do right leg, bending and straightening. And to the left and right. And other side, bending and straightening. And then side to side. And then and take a little break, 'cause it's a lot on the shoulders. And then up again, so it's at the very top of your thigh, just beneath the pelvis. Right leg again. 1. And cross back. Other side. And side to side. Rest there. Now, you're going to come back so the roller is by the knees again. And then you're going to roll up your thighs. Let's emphasize the right leg on the outside of the thigh. So, and again, you can use that opposite side to give you a little help. And then the other one, so the outside part of the thigh, right? So almost to the side. Good. And then staying very central. So down and up, so you can kind of do both at the same time here. Good. Now, going on to, the inside part of the right. So you're not all the way on the inner thigh, but close to it. And then the other one. And then rest that back. All right, so tricky stretch for the quads. So you're going to take your strap and put it around, let's do the right one first, the right ankle. And then lie face down. Okay. So you can just reach over your shoulder with your right hand, bend the knee, and just pull that leg in without letting your hips pop up, right? So you want to push your hips into the floor. Find the natural stretch. And away. And stretch it. And again. And then we'll switch it over. So flip it to the other ankle. Whoops. There it is. Just making sure that the hips stay down. So you're really opening up the quads a bit. And rest that there. Okay. And then one last one. So you're going to sit on the roller now. So if you have a firmer roller, you might want to use that for this one. But otherwise, just sitting on top of it, hands behind you should begin. Put your right leg over your left, and then just bring that hand across, and you can roll on that one cheek quite far to the side. And you might find some spots in there. But be happy to roll. And then come center, place the foot down, other side, and rolling over that. Again, it's a lot in the shoulders, so maybe take breaks between sides. And then just come off of there and set your roller to the side. And I'm just going to grab these little boxes that I have. So you can do this with your feet up on the couch or a chair on your bed. And what your goal is to begin is to get a 90-degree bend at your hip and your knee. The hip being the more important one. And you want to be able to relax your lower legs. So even if you had a wall there, that would be good. And then you're going to take your strap and just tie it around your legs. So this looks a little weird, but it has a point. So let's just do a bow. And so what that does is allows your thighs to completely relax, right? So they can just feel braced. So there's no muscle activity going on. So if you feel in your hips, they should feel soft. You shouldn't feel any tension in there. And I like to do this with my palms up. But you could also take that arms across the chest. So there's a similar idea with the shoulders not having to do anything. I feel constricted when I do it that way. So I'm just going to have my palms up. And you can finish this sequence off like this. Stay here for 5 minutes, anything up to 20 minutes, and just feel like the weight of your thigh bones dropping down, almost like they're falling through the floor. You could even put some weight on here, like a couple of pillows, just to kind of give that idea of like gravity helping your hips to let go. So it feels really good on the hips and the lower back. And you can just stay there for as long as you like. And now I'm going to see if my little clicker works, because that would be helpful today. Let's see. Oh, it's going to make me get up, isn't it? Okay, how am I going to do this?